Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my father-in-law Jim, the Grumpy Plumber. And today we are going to be answering, how do you clear a clogged drain or get a snake down a clogged drain?
Hi, I'm Jordan. I started the Grumpy Plumber because I'm lucky enough to have a dad who's an amazing plumber. He's been a plumber for 48 years. And since I bought my house 5 years ago, he has saved us tens of thousands of dollars with his experience and his advice. So we started this channel to help people out with some great plumbing advice. And for those who really care about credentials, he's been a master plumber in Michigan, and he's also a C36 plumbing contractor in California. 48 years of plumbing, he knows something. It also makes him a little bit grumpy when he's sharing advice. Don't piss him off.
All right, Jim, clearing clogged drain, and how do you get a snake down that drain?
Well, first off, you'd have to go and buy one to get it down the drain.
Okay.
But what you got on a bathtub, on the older style bathtubs, we call that an overflow drain. Okay, and why they call it an overflow is, if you notice, you have the drain in the bottom, then about 12 inches up, there's a cover. And then that cover on the bottom is open. So if you fill the bathtub too high, it runs into that overflow. Well, usually is what it is that it will clog up. Is used to be, some of them had like a spring or they have a stopper in there that goes down and goes up and down. Well, you can pull that stopper out, okay, and then you can take a snake down through there. But if you have an old house, that would be something that I don't think you'd clean, because that drain can be very hard to get through on an old cast iron drain. If you have a new plastic, drain on it, I don't think that drain would be plugged. It's got to be hair caught either at the bottom of the drain that you can take the screw out and you can get in there and kind of, something might be catching it, and you can pull that hair out, and then you got it cleaned out on it. So if it's old, I'd hire it done, and hopefully he knows how to do it. And sometimes they have what they call a spring that will push the stopper that closes the water on and off. And that catches a lot of hair. I go to houses all the time, or used to go to houses all the time, and pull that plate off the top, and out comes that spring, and it would be just covered in hair. Clean the hair back off it, and you have to pull the drain. You have the drain out, okay, the stopper, and you put the stopper back in, then you put the spring back in, or that deal on that.
So you don't need a snake for that?
No, you don't need a snake for that, okay, on a deal like that. And one way to test, too, is people think the drain is slow. Okay, if they fill the bathtub up with water and it takes a little bit for it to drain, they think the drain is clogged. Not always. What you want to do is turn the shower on, and only the shower, and run the shower and see if water does not build up. I mean, yes, you're going to get water there, but if you get a couple inches of water in there, then you have a slow drain. So that's just a test for it. Now in a shower, you can take the shower drain off, and what I do, and I don't like cleaning drains. I don't even have a drain cleaner machine, and never have ever owned one. Okay? I got a good drain cleaner in, and I trust in it. But if it was at my own house, I pull the plate off, and you could go and would buy what they call a closet auger. Sometimes that's not a bad tool to have in the house. If you got some big waste that got caught in a toilet, that's what clears that instead of plunging it. But you could take that closet auger, and it's kind of unique. It's a metal thing with a little angle on the bottom of it, and you can pull it all the way back, and you stick that in, and then you can start cranking it down through that drain, and that opens it up too. And that's a cheap way. That closet auger might cost you under $50. But if you tend to have that problem with a lot of long hair in the house, but I use a lot of water, so I don't worry about it so much. But that's one way of keeping that drain clear. But yes, it's like I told you, a good way to test for it and to do the shower drain. And I hope I answered that question.
When does anyone ever want to use a snake then? Like, when would you use a snake?
You don't use a snake on a bathroom sink.
Oh.
Because the bathroom drain usually is not plugged.
Okay.
You use the snake only on the main drain itself, or the branches. to the fixtures. Okay, what might, like if you have a toilet, that will have a minimum of a 3-inch drain. If you have a bathroom sink, that in some states they have 1.25 inches, in other states they have a minimum of 1.5 inches. And a shower drain is 2-inch, and a wash machine drain is 2-inch.
So you're not using a snake on those?
No, you can use you only want to use a snake on the main part of the drain.
What about in a kitchen?
The kitchen drain is usually 1.5 inches. In that, you would not use it going through the sink itself. You need to take it apart underneath and go through the wall and snake it that way. That's when you use a snake. You don't run the snake through the fixture drain.
So, all right. So if I'm looking at my sink and I feel like I need to use a snake, I'm not putting it down. From what I can see, I have to get under, take it apart, and snake it that
where it
way.
goes into the wall.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
And another thing, they make plungers. Plungers are usually nowadays, they're good for toilets, but you can't use them on a bathroom drain, because the trouble is they must be. How it works is it makes a suction, because the drain is plugged. It makes a suction, and hopefully it'll loosen it up. But if you have a lot of the codes have a lot of vents in them nowadays. Every fixture is vented separately, and when they're vented separately, it will not allow a suction. Okay, if you know what I mean. But on a toilet, you can plunger a toilet, because you're just pretty much forcing the stuff out of the trap. But if the drain below that toilet is plugged, you're not going to open it with a plunger. And do not ever take a expensive high-end acid type drain cleaner and dump it in a toilet.
Oh, why?
Because it heats up too much and it break the toilet.
Oh, all right.
Okay, but you wouldn't do that. I know you wouldn't do that. Okay?
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks so much. If you enjoyed this question, please hit subscribe, because we have a new question that comes out at least weekly where Jim, the Grumpy Plumber, answers. And
hopefully you liked it and you hit the like button. If not, go and ask the gardener.